There we go. Thank you. Thank you very much. We are back. F1 Flaming Tarmac, episode 90. 90 episode of the F1 Flaming Tarmac. Absolutely crazy how far we've come. So we're going to be talking about the F1 Shakedown, the Shakedown day 1 and 2. We're going to shake down the cars. We get to see what the cars, not the full concepts of the car, but we see what they really look like, the wing and sounds of the engine, and see how it goes. But yeah, it's nice to have the F1 season back. For me, this is where the F1 season starts. As soon as I start having the shakedowns, that's where it starts, in my opinion. And yeah, it's nice to be back, people. So I'm going to bring in my co-cues, my partner in crime on this channel. This is Mr. Toto. Ama. Big up Toto. Big up to Toto. Toto Hammer. Oh, he's gone. Sorry, guys. We're having connection issues, but we're going to try and bring it back. But yeah, F1 season is back. And it's nice to be back in the F1 season. Let me just change my background. There you go. There's my background to the great air to the center. Here comes Toto. He's back.
My
Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now, bro.
Yeah. The whole laptop was shut down, so I had to restart
Don't worry
everything.
about it. Don't worry about it.
Stuff like that. But yeah, glad to be here as always. F1 season just coming a blink of an eye, innit? To be fair, I don't really get much time off. What, 60, 70 days? Something
60?
like that.
I don't think they even get 60 days. I think they only get 2 weeks off.
Yeah, they don't really get much time off from drivers, especially the engineers. They're in the.
They have 2 weeks off over the Christmas period, and that's it.
They're back to work a week after.
Yeah. And plus, the drivers were back early as well because it's a new car, and they got to learn the car, so they've come back even earlier. Yeah, so crazy.
But look, man, I'm just glad it's back again. I was really missing it. Formula One. A lot have been going on. New race engineer for Lewis Hamilton and stuff like that. Ford engine, Ford power unit for Red Bull. Hadjar crashing out in the shakedown. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the shakedowns that you can, analyze and take what you want from that, really. But yeah, everything's all good.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was on YouTube and I was watching I was watching some videos of Lewis Hamilton and his ex-engineer, about how they just didn't get on, and the whole world knew. And when Lewis says, why don't you go make a cup of tea while you're there? He was telling him, don't speak to me while I'm in battle. And he keeps saying, okay. And he says, stop saying it. And he goes, okay. Right, as a racer, if you're not getting on with the race engineer, that's a red flag. You need to change very quick. That's a red flag. Because your race engineer is like your best friend in Formula One. Even when you're not on the racetrack, you need to be able to get on with your race engineer. If you don't get on with your race engineer, that's it. It's over. It is over. So yeah, we're going to talk about the debrief. We're going to talk about all that. But before we start getting into all that, I want to thank everybody whoever's watching. Can you please like this video? This is also streaming on Toto Hammer's racing channel. This is streaming on, obviously, the main channel, Keep It Sports. And it's also on Twitch as well. And it's also streaming via TikTok as well. So we'll be back after this.
On the brakes, Leclerc has that inside line. Perez goes off the track, comes to chicane. Off goes Leclerc, through goes Hamilton. Unbelievable stuff.
There you go. Keep it sports. Anyway, Toto, you're the racer. How you feeling, bro?
I mean, day one shakedown times got leaked.
Yep. Day one
Um,
shakedown. You want to start there? You go ahead.
so Hadjar got the fastest.
Yeah. Day
181. These are leaked lap times, so they're not even supposed to be up, but they're leaked.
Go ahead.
So Hadjar's. So the drivers who actually ran on day one, there was problem with damp conditions and rain conditions, and not many drivers wanted to go out in damp conditions. The only two drivers that went out in damp conditions was Lewis and Max on day two. I'm not sure about day one.
Yeah, I'm gonna just talk about day one now. I'm gonna talk about day one.
So at the moment, Ocon has ran the most laps. He's clocked over 150 laps. The fastest time was Hadjar of 118. 1.
Yeah.
Now regarding it, is that the day one was supposed to be a private season test. So they moved the reporters and everyone instead of 200 meters from the circuit.
Yeah.
They kicked them out to go 300 meters of the circuit.
For people that got drones.
They even set up 600 meters from the circuit and still kicked them out because they wanted to be a
private kind of thing.
Private pre-season testing.
I don't get that.
There was 2 Secret Service cars. One, a lot of cars protecting because it wants it to be more of an enclosed.
Enclosed thing. Yeah.
There. But still, it got leaked. You can get anything nowadays. So, fastest lap time of the session was 181. Well, Hadjar, Russell was second, Colapinto was third, Antonelli fourth, Ocon fifth, Lawson sixth, Bottas seventh, Bortoletto eighth, and Perez ninth. So the worst performances out of day one was the Cadillac car. Again, it's a new team. Bortoletto for the Sauber, Audi now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lawson for the RBs, Ocon, Valdi, Antonelli, Colapinto for Alpine, Russell and Hadjar. So Hadjar was the fastest in day one, basically.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. The what's he called again? The Cadillac. That's using a Ferrari engine. It's not a Ferrari power unit, and they said they're going to use that for about a year or two, so Cadillac can get their engine into Formula One. Because obviously we know Cadillac, they did say they are going to make their own engine. You just said it's in the process, they're building it up. Can't just say, right, we're going to make an engine. It doesn't work that way in Formula One. It's got to be tested, got to be battle tested. It's got to go through all the regulations, the stress tests.
Make sure it's safe.
Make sure everything's safe. So what they're doing for now, they'll be using the Ferrari power unit, which makes sense, you know. And yeah, they're going to be using that for at least maybe 2 seasons. But regarding Gabriel Bortoletti, which he started on day one, he also made an early appearance for Audi. Remember, Audi are back in there now, so Audi are there amid the sunny and largely dry conditions in Barcelona. So when Gabriel Bortoletti came out he had the dry conditions. He started to rain more the evening in Barcelona, but in the daytime there, it was kind of dry. And yeah, he looked good. Liam Lawson and Cadillac, Valtteri Bottas and was running as well on day one with Cadillac. He said at the end the car felt good, and it's only a shakedown. He said you can't really learn anything much from a shakedown, but he said the car was fine, felt comfortable in the car. Still a lot of work to do. We know it's a shakedown, and we're just getting the car out there to see what he can do. But he said that he felt all right in the car. It's not, you know what? It's nice to see Bottas back in Toto. What do you think?
It is, man. You know, I always thought Bottas was a great driver for Mercedes, and he helped Lewis with a lot of championships. To be fair, in terms of team orders, Bottas was also in contention for some of the championships as well, but he was always as the second driver, weren't he? He was always a good number 2. Yeah. And of course, not a lot of people like that name, but again, Lewis and Bottas are probably one of the best partnerships. They got along well with each other. They listened to the team orders. They knew where they were, who was first, who was second driver, you know, and that's just a beautiful team right there. You know, two drivers getting along with each other, listening to each other, team orders and stuff like that. He helped Lewis get helped Lewis. Of course, Lewis's ability as well, but Bottas is also there to help him as well in terms of points, holding drivers behind and stuff like that. Because that's what you do as a number two. You help the number one driver get through. But again, Bottas, I think, is a great driver. If Lewis is not performing as well, he's always winning races. You know, he's always coming up behind. But look, I'm glad that he's back. And of course, Perez is back as well, which is also good. All that Red Bull debacle and all that. He's finally in the new team. Bottas is in a new team. And again, they've got two experienced drivers there who know what they're doing, who know the car, who knows how to work. To work the car, and I think that's the best thing for a new team. Usually, you have a seasoned vet and you have a rookie, but they've gone different.
Two vets,
two
veterans,
and
I think that I really think that's good when you're a new team in Formula One. I think experience is what you need.
Yeah,
because you don't know how the system goes. I know Cadillac. We all know Cadillac's famous for cars and that, but it's their first time they've dabbled in Formula One, and it's first time they've dipped their toes into Formula One. So if you're a new team, and I know they've got the backing because they're a very rich team, and I know they've got the backing. But if you're a team, you're coming into Formula One, you want your two experienced drivers, because you need experienced drivers to give you all the information, all the feedback for what you need, where you're going wrong. This is what you need. You don't want two rookies or even just one rookie coming in. You need two experienced drivers. So yeah, again, Sergio Perez, for me, you've heard him over the past couple of months, what he was like at Red Bull, when he had a chance to beat Max, that would never allow him to do it. You heard him talking about it. We know that Sergio Perez is a very good driver, and I think if the shackles were off from Red Bull, I think he could have won a world title. But the Red Bull didn't allow it. But yeah, Perez, he got luck after Bottas had done the morning session in the afternoon on day one. He handed it over to Sergio Perez. He racked up some decent laps as well. Yeah, it was good. It was a good day. It was a good day for Cadillac. Like I said, they said it was lucky comfortable. Yeah.
I think about day one, you can't really talk more in depth because it was a private one.
Yeah.
A lot of the info really is come from day two, which F1 has reported.
Yeah.
But day one, you can't really say much because
the day one are just giving you the ones who ran.
Secret Service cars protecting it, and everything was just all in-house and private. There was only a few leaks, like lap times was leaked.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. This is all I'm reporting. I'm just reporting who ran.
Yeah, it was just data leaks that we can go off, you know.
Yeah, like Red Bull, like Isaac Hadjar, he was in action. He was in action ahead of the first season. He said he enjoyed the extensive running in the RB22. That's it. Nothing about how the car feels. He just said he just liked running in the car.
Yeah.
But that's it really. So we can move on to day two if you want to.
Yeah. So a lot unraveled in day two. Of course, Isaac Hadjar, a big a crash happened, didn't there? For Isaac Hadjar, which is unfortunate for him, you know. But again, just getting used to the car and a new team. You've done really well on day one. I know it's only a shakedown, but you can see where the performances are going to be. Roughly around, and Hadjar's doing quite well so far, top in day one. So day two, Mercedes took the morning session for the morning, and they didn't want to run in wet weather conditions, and a lot of drivers and a lot of teams didn't want to run in wet weather conditions. So understandable, because you won't have a rough idea of how fast the car actually is, because in the wet, of course, you're slower, aren't you? Yeah. And more people are equal. So Ferrari was the first to emerge. So Mercedes and Ferrari was in the morning session basically. But yeah, that's it so far for the morning session. Of course, Max Verstappen did run on day two as well. He didn't run in day one. Max Verstappen ran in day two. Again, rain started coming down. This is probably one of the main topics of the shakedown, that a lot of rain, a lot of damp conditions was going out. But Leclerc and Verstappen, went out anyway. Not Lewis, sorry. Leclerc and Verstappen was the only one going back out in the damp conditions. Maybe there's
Yeah,
one.
because Mercedes. Sorry, to cut in. Mercedes. They confirmed in the morning session they would not be running due to the weather forecast predicting rain. So Ferrari were the first to emerge in day 2, kicked off in Barcelona. But the Mercedes said at the beginning they would not be running in the evening due to the weather.
Yeah.
So go on.
Again, when it started to get more later in Catalonia, Lewis was the last one to set his laps before sunset.
Yeah.
Before it was getting dark. So as it was getting dark, Lewis started setting some laps, and he was the last one to take the checker flag. I think it was slightly damp, but it went out later because maybe the track was a little bit drier.
Yeah, Charles got the most running though.
Yeah, he did.
Charles got a lot of running. So it says Charles hit the track at the wheel of the SF26, went on to clock up an extension mileage during his time in Scuba's Ferrari's new Challenger. And while he initially had the circuit to himself, Max Verstappen also headed out for some laps in the RB22. Remember, let's go to the Red Bull. They're going to have a Ford power unit, I guess. This is their first concept of engine for the Red Bull car. So it's going to be very interesting. The lights will be on that car this year. And the lights will be on Max Verstappen. And I think this season will determine where Max goes. If he stays with Red Bull or if he doesn't stay with Red Bull, if he defects to Aston Martin, which I think that's where he's going to go. I don't think there's nowhere at Mercedes for him to go. They're not going to get rid of Antonelli, and I don't think they're going to get rid of Russell staying there. And I just can't see him and Russell working together. That's a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah,
that is a disaster.
Got two big drivers there.
Alpha's there, right there.
Number ones, you need a number one and a number two at the end of the day.
Yeah, for the balance.
Yeah. You can't have two big egos in there. Of course, I'm not saying they're two number ones, aren't they? So of course they're going to have a little bit of an ego.
The two alphas, man. Yeah. They will clash.
Yeah. And then it's just because Schutter's points down the drain, both fighting for each other, more risk, more damage.
Yeah.
You want to have damage limitation in terms of the car. Less money to pay for damages, of course. Them parts in the F1 car are very, very expensive. But you want to limit that, don't you? You know, because if you've got two drivers who are going at each other, it's more risk that it's just stress for the team principle, for teamwork. You want to have teamwork there and then both working together. Williams as well. Williams not attending any of the shakedown tests because they want to work on their engine instead. They want to make sure they get top performance and they're rather focused developing their engine than attending the shakedowns based what they're doing. They want to achieve max performance. So understandable from Williams. Aston Martin not running again. They're working on their car instead of running on day 2. So the other 2 days are Thursdays and Fridays, and that's when Aston Martin tend to have a run out of the car. But so far, so forth, it's Aston Martin working on the engine and working on the car. So far, but Thursdays, Fridays, it's more likely they'll get a run out. Yeah. It's like with McLaren as well. McLaren not getting a run out yet. But they did say that again, Thursdays and Fridays are more likely you're going to see the McLarens and the Aston Martins going for a run. Yeah.
So yeah, man. Yeah, that's the shakedown, man. That's the shakedown, really. Lewis Hamilton says, I'll talk about Aston Martin. So Aston Martin are also yet to participate in the shakedown as well. I haven't participated in it. The British outfit were working on the car in the garage during day 2 and previously stated they intend to run on Thursday and Friday. So tomorrow, we're going to wait till Thursday, Friday for Aston Martin. They're still tinkering with the car, which they're entitled to. It is only a shakedown. Remember that. When they go to Bahrain, we start seeing the testing. But they haven't participated in any Formula One at all this season so far. They've just been in the garage and tinkering with it. So what we do on Friday, when I do my next video, it's gonna be Friday. I want to do another flaming tarmac. I'll talk about the it'll be over then, you know, the shakedown, and I'll talk about the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on Friday.
Yeah.
Aston Martin, he said they won't be running till Thursday, and that just like you just mentioned, the Williams, that they're not going to do nothing until Bahrain, which I think is crazy. Don't you think that's a bit crazy, not running nothing till Bahrain? Why is it always Williams that yeah, they always miss
They want
testing?
to work on the engine.
Yeah, but don't you think? Yeah, I understand, but
You need to get track time as well, don't
you
you?
need to get the track time to see how the car's going to react.
They will, but it's just a matter of time, innit?
Yeah.
They have to get it.
So let's talk about Hamilton. Hamilton also shared his reflections following his time behind the wheel of the FC26 Barcelona with the 8-time world champion, admitting that the challenging weather conditions posed him difficulties. Lewis after said, very challenging today because it started raining around about 10:30 a.m. Obviously, Charles had a little bit more dry time. So Charles had more of the dry track than Lewis. And it's been wet all afternoon. Hamilton explained, and people say it just rains in England. Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Rains everywhere.
Exactly. Dry running, and it's been wet all afternoon. Hamilton explained, figuring out how to get the tyres working was really productive. I think we got 120 laps, something like that. Given its wet conditions and we had a red flag, I think it's pretty solid. So I'm really proud of everyone back at the factory for getting the car to these points.
Seem a little more happy with it as well. The car,
Yeah.
much better to drive.
So he's thanking the team, you know, the same old thing. But the people back at the factory, you know how many times he used to say that back in the day. No, it's easy though, and it's easy line, and thank everybody back at the factory. But it's true though. So yeah, man, what's your thoughts on it so far? Before we wrap up?
I'm glad that Lewis and Leclerc are both happy with the car, and it's easier
So
to
far.
drive, as they're saying. But nothing beats when it hits qualifying for what's the first Bahrain, Australia? What's the first? I can't believe I forgot the first race.
First race is
Australia.
Bahrain. The way they used to do it about 3-4 years ago, they used to have the winter testing in Spain. Remember, you know how they're doing the shakedown now?
Yeah.
This is where the winter testing used to be, remember?
Yeah.
They used to, at Spain, Barcelona, the Catalonia, they used to have all the winter testing here. And then when the season started, it would start in Australia.
Yeah.
Then Bahrain, but they've changed it now the last couple of years. That's 2 years. They've changed it. They have the shakedown in Spain, only the shakedown, where they used to have it there anyway. But when they have the winter testing, so they're having it in Spain, they have it in Bahrain. And the reason why they've done that is because as soon as that winter testing is over in Bahrain, the week after that, the season starts, it's in Bahrain. So they don't need to move everything. That's why they've done it. It started doing that a couple of years ago, about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So Australia's not the first race now, it's always Bahrain. Australia's second.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't like the Australian track. It's nice on the sim, but I don't like watching it because you can't overtake.
I liked it before, but I think I like it even more now because they got rid of that a little twisty bit, and it's just it's just a long DRS zone.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
But again, you can say the track's a bit tight.
It's hard to overtake.
It is, you know, that's a kind of track where if you park your car in the middle, you got a better chance of defending your position.
Yeah.
But again, it's a very technical track as well. Very technical.
Very technical, yeah.
A lot of twists and bends, so. But again, I should have drivers are used to it.
Yeah. So Toto, that's it. The F1 Flaming Tarmac episode 90 in the bag. Shakedown 1 and 2. We're going to be back Friday. As for Formula Football, obviously we're going to be back Thursday when we do the player stuff. But regarding Formula 1 stuff, we're not going to be back till Friday. When we're going to talk about Shakedown day 3, 4, and 5. That'll be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we'll cover that on Friday. So big up to everyone. The 90th episode total of Flaming Tarmac. Absolutely amazing. It's the second Flaming Tarmac of 2026, but it's the 90th episode, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We gotta applaud ourselves, man. Applaud. Give me a hell yeah, man.
Give me a hell yeah.
So yeah. So Toto, big up. Heading off, guys. Bye.